It's me again, and it's another video. Today's date is December 8th, 2022. It's a Thursday, and I'm very hot. I just ran around to do chores. Let me preface this video by saying that this is not financial advice, nor is intended to be financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, hence I wear a costume. Are you not entertained? You are watching my own personal blog. This is my own journey. You are just listening to one bird's thoughts. So today I'm here to explain to you how the next 2 days are going to work. We will call this the Great Reconciliation. It's going to explain how the shares are reconciled, how the books will be balanced, and why there's this crazy rule stating that if you sell after the 8th, you lose your share to next bridge, you lose your right to next bridge, but if you buy after the 8th, you don't get next bridge. People are like, well, how does that work? Where does it transfer to? It has to transfer somewhere. It does. But we're going to talk about that and how this all plays. This is why things were so complex. Why SEC took a long time, why Finra took a long time. Everybody took a long time. This is why. It's a very complex situation. And I'm going to do my best to try and articulate it to you. So what we have here is a balanced book. 165 million Mmtlp, it's 1-for-1 exchange, is 165.5 million next bridge hydrocarbons. That's a perfect world. That would be 1-for-1, the end. No shorts have to cover. No short oversold positions have to close out their position. I do not believe it looks like this. I'm under the school of thought still that Mmtlp has been very heavy over leveraged. And yes, I still think that there are 250 million or more outstanding naked short shares or failed to deliver IOUs essentially. So we have how we're going to balance these books, right? Oh, shorts have to close out their positions by buying shares. Yes. Can they have closed yesterday with shares? Quite possibly. But the books have to balance. What if the books are so over leveraged that this whole complex thing that I'm about to explain to you is pretty much the only way anybody could come to an agreement on any side of this? Bear with me. So this is a perfect world. Reconciliation books, they match. Matchy matchy. I believe our books look like this, not matchy matchy. We have about 415 million Mmtlps and 165.5 million next bridge hydrocarbons. Where do I get 415 million? That's the 165.5 million outstanding Mmtlp shares or next bridge shares, plus the 250 IOUs out there, right? I have 5 mealworms. But it's been over leveraged so much now there's 250 mealworms. Those mealworms need to be bought back. If the mealworms are bought back with the next bridge tied to it, by the end of the day, it's still going to look like this. How do we delete the shares? How do we delete the shares? And that's why we saw a Finra change on the daily list. It used to say canceled, but now it says deleted. DTCC says, yes, this is how we're going to reconcile the books because we're the guys who have to deal with this. As a result, it has to go through this process. It's a process that has to be met. So that is why there's this complex thing that states, too, if you sell tomorrow, you lose your right to next bridge. And if you buy, you don't have next bridge. It allows shorts to close their positions without the right of next bridge tied to it. So every time they close out a position, one of these guys gets deleted. One of these 250 theoretical mealworms that shouldn't exist get deleted. That's how it goes. So let's say shorts buy 100 million shares tomorrow to close their positions. Then we're left with 315.5 million Mmtlp. And we still have a ways to go because there's only 165 seats on the next bridge bus. This is why it's set up this way, and this is why it's so complex. When you sell, you give up your right. When you buy, you don't have a right. It's so the shares can be deleted. It's how they're going to be deleted and how the books are going to balance. I have a sneaking suspicion things will continue to trade until the books are balanced. The buy button may go away for most people or it may stay. It depends. But know this, if you do try and swing trade it, no, you will not be getting shares of Mmtlp because they'll get deleted. It has to be reconciled. These outstanding shares have to be deleted some way, and they're going to get deleted by buying them from you. I know what the value of my mealworms are, and especially with what we went through today, I'm not going to give anybody an easy time over it. You're going to have to prime out my babushka arms. I'm selling mealworms here, not birdseed. Again, the DTCC says all of these outstanding IOUs have to be gone. Else, what are we going to do? We're going to have a big legal problem on our hands. And we're going to be left with this big mess. So this is the system to clean up that mess. They're going to get deleted. Every time a short covers his position, an angel might get their wings. These go down because they're buying without the next bridge right tied to it. So at the end of the day, these phony next bridge rights, these phony next bridge share rights go away, and it will be 165.5 to 165.5. That's how they get deleted. Every time a transaction happens tomorrow and Monday, one of these shares on this side of the book gets deleted until they're balanced. Again, that's why we have this crazy rule that states if you sell tomorrow, you lose next bridge. If you buy tomorrow, you don't get next bridge. When the time comes, 165 million Mmtlp has to equal 165 million next bridge. The rights have to equal. There has to be 165 million rights to 165 million rights. It is very complex, and that's probably why it took so long. And I'm very excited for tomorrow. Again, game plan, if you don't have buy buttons, that's fine. If you set a stop loss, you might get stopped out. After today, I certainly want to pay back, and that's just my personal opinion. I certainly want payback after the last few days. I'm not selling for birdseed. That's just my opinion, my thoughts. Okay, guys, I hope that sort of explained everything. Let me know if it didn't, because yeah, this is complex. That's how it's going to work. Yes, this was over leveraged, so much so that this is what, the DTCC Finra had agreed upon. There was a discrepancy. You can't say canceled. It has to be deleted. Otherwise, if it's canceled, by the end of this, you're still then the books aren't balanced. By the end of this, you're going to have 114 million over here and 165 over here. Okay, guys, I will see you soon. Tomorrow's a new day. Goodbye.